Hey, and I want to thank you for taking a couple minutes out of your day today. You know, there's one of the hottest things going right now, or one of the biggest problems that so many people have is hiring. Hiring is a definite problem right now. We just can't find the people. So what I've been doing is doing some research into this, and today I've got Greg along with me, and what we're going to do is go through some ideas, some concepts, and things we're finding that are working, and I want to share these ideas with you, and going from there, and hopefully you can develop some ideas. So Greg, how are you doing today, and what's your thought process on what we're getting ready to offer here?
Well, I'm doing fine, and I got to tell you that hiring is probably one of the most important things anybody does, and it's probably one of the most difficult things anyone does, and it's probably one of those areas where people have the least amount of understanding.
Right. And if you're looking at the title page, we're going to delve into social media today some, and we're actually going to delve into how you use social media as one of your recruitment tools that's going on out there in the real world. So hopefully we're going to have some good information. So first thing I want to talk about is the internet sites that people are using. And right now, probably the hottest one that is working is Indeed.com. Indeed.com, and we're seeing some very positive results, and I'm actually going to show you some ads that people are using. I've got a couple different ads that'll be in this presentation, and we're going to talk about the wording of the ad. What you got to remember is what you're doing is fishing, and what you're doing is you're casting the bait out there. Now, in some areas, some people are seeing success with Craigslist, but what we're seeing is a decrease in the Craigslist side. The other factor is at one time Craigslist was allowing us to advertise at no charge, and in most of the market areas now, Craigslist is charging. The other factor about Craigslist is it actually goes in a dated, you go down and down and down, and in order to re-up and get back to the top, what you got to do is you got to pay again. But it seems like the more quality, career-oriented people from internet sites are coming from Indeed.com. Craigslist, if it works in your area, then it's something you can use. We're going to talk in a minute and show you how some of the greatest ads that we're seeing that these people are seeing results with are being done. So I want you to stick with us and look at this, see how it's doing. So what's working? That's the key thought. And what y'all want you to remember is it's all in the way that it's worded. Again, this is the bait. And what you've got to do is develop, just like for your business, a marketing plan. You've got to develop a marketing plan of what's going to draw that suspect. That's what we're going to call the person out there, the suspect that you have that could fill the position for you. And what is this bait that's going to draw them in to look and actually contact you and go forward? So it's really important the way that you word your ads, the things that are in the ads, and what they're saying. So the first one I've got up in front of you right now, this is the one that Flues Brothers in Kansas City is using. This is Jeremy and Brandy Biswell, and they are having success finding people. They are having success. And what you're seeing here is you're seeing the ad that they have placed on Indeed.com. And as you're looking at this, they've got a description of what's going on. Now, I want you to look key at the bottom because I think this is a missing link that somehow or another has got to be put in. One is health and dental. I think that is drawing people to them to apply, health and dental. The other thing is retirement plan. It seems like these are the things that when people look at this, this is where I'm seeing a dedicated difference on the people that are able to attract people and the people that are not. They have listed employee benefits. And this is one of the problems we have in our trade. If we don't offer these benefits, you got to remember, you were competing against other people for this certain caliber person that's going to fill the bill for you. So Greg, as you look at that, what stands out on this help wanted ad in Indeed that says, hey, I'll go for that? What kicks your eyes if you were
Well,
an applicant?
I'll tell you right away, I love the detail. I love the fact that what he's looking for is spelled out, which makes it seem more like I'm just, instead of I'm just looking for a guy, is I'm looking for somebody who wants a career.
Okay. And keep in mind, you said something here. This is one of the things I think we got to look at is you just said a guy. I think that out there right now that there is a lot of women that can fill trade positions. So when we look at this, we need to be looking, there is a lot of women in the workforce, and some of these women want to do blue collar work. I know I recently had a person in one of my certification classes that had been a secretary customer service representative for Debbie Weedwald. And and Anna was actually training now. She was coming to take her certification, and she had went out on a truck. So Greg, is this an ad that would draw from both male and female?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so remembering those type of things there. So you see how that one is worded. Now, if you want this whole PowerPoint, all you got to do is email me so you'll see what's there and what you need to put out. Let's go to another one and see what another one is. This is another company that is having a lot of success in bringing people here. This is Josh Kelly, and Josh has agreed we could use his in here. And what you're looking at the top, $50,000 a year. And he describes the company. Find yourself working among one of the top professional chimney and fireplace service companies in the area. At Magic Broom, we pride ourselves, and we go in. And if you look here, we've got paid training. One of the key things right now is, and we've got to remember this from what's going on in the entire news media, is people are being told they've got to go to college and have a college degree. And we're going to talk about that a little more as we get into some of the other ideas. But what we've said here is we're giving you paid training. We're giving you health insurance. We're giving you a retirement matching plan. And if you look there, earlier he said 50,000 a year. But if you look below, he says earn $60,000 to $100,000 in your first year of certification. In other words, the guy's got to move there, paid vacations. But again, we described it a little more, and actually we're going to go to the second page of this ad, which is right here. He has described what we want you to do. Provide excellent customer service and all the things going on. About us. Been in business for 37 years, family owned and operated, paid education opportunities. And then I think this is key, and we're going to talk about this further later on in the webinar. We have an online site where they can apply. So Greg, I'm going to go back to the first page of this one. What's your thoughts on the Magic Broom Help Wanted ad?
I think it's a great ad. I really do. For one thing, the 50,000 a year is going to get a lot of attention, even though later on it says it's actually more than that. And again, the ad, when you put this kind of detail into an ad, what it says is, this is a professional position, and we're looking for people that want to be professionals, that are committed to a career. The ad by itself says that without actually saying it, just by the way it's presented.
Yep, and that's what I'm talking about here. This, again, it's a marketing scenario. You've got to develop your marketing tools just like you would for your business to bring customers in. These are designed. Greg, there's a second page of their particular ad. Anything stand out for you here?
It's very specific. I mean, stuff like clean up debris, maintain customer equipment, ability to work in teams and individually, ability to sell. All that stuff is very, very specific. So when one reads this ad, there's really no lack of clarity about what they're looking for.
Yep, that's where it's at, right there. And we're going to keep going further and look at a couple more of these.
Good, let's go.
Okay, we're back in business. So we're talking here about the different ways. Let's go to another ad. The particular ad we're going to now is the John Luce ad. Now hiring Luce's Chimney and Stove Shop. John is having success finding people. He's in the Toledo, Ohio market area. And I know I recently did a training there, and we had a full, basically he is rebuilding a lot of his crews there. And so finding people was a major challenge. So this one worked for John. We offer a competitive wage and benefits package will be based on your experience. Describes the ideal employee, pays attention to details, clean driving record, must pass a free background check, must maintain a professional appearance and demeanor. So Greg, what do you see in this particular ad that turns you on or turns you off?
Again, the same thing. I mean, I guess what I preferred about the other two is the bullet point approach, but what you see here is the kind of detail. So somebody who's really interested is going to read this through, and they're going to come away saying, this is the kind of job I like. This sounds like a professional. More than that, it sounds like a great company.
There you go. So we're going to move on. So anyway, Indeed.com could be one of your answers. But again, you just can't randomly throw anything up there. It's a marketing plan. It is a marketing that you've got to do to draw the suspects to become your prospects to get them onto your team. Now, the next thing I want to touch on is your website. You've got to have we are hiring button on the home page of your website. In my travels around the country, I have commonly found out from no matter where I'm at that today's prospect is not going to knock on your door. I've been told point blank that people don't want to take applications at their door. One guy told me one night, you know, if somebody really wants to hire you, they're going to have an application process online. And I said, really? So you mean you research the website? Well, of course. Well, you know, they do due diligence on you. So there's got to be a way that when they come across your website, they can apply online. Furthermore, I feel it's critical that the application can be filed online. In other words, they fill out the application online and then they hit a button and the application is then forwarded to the email address of wherever you're handling these things. The less steps we can make this, the easier it is going to be for the people to be able to apply for your team. So we've got to make it easy. I know that sounds terrible, and you think that people are looking for a job, but what we've got to do is go after them in any way, shape, or form that we can. Okay? Another one that is working for a lot of people is employee referrals. Employee referrals where someone is getting their friends, their family members, people they know to come and apply for jobs. In some areas of the country, this is going to be a good one that works very well. So Greg, where we're at now, what have you got to add to this?
Well, one is I love the idea of we are accepting applications. So we're wanting application now, that button. I think that's a great idea. And frankly, I think that button should always be there no matter what, even when you fill these things. And the employee referrals, you and I have both seen this ourselves. Lots and lots of the people we deal with have got good employees from referrals from their current employees. It just works really well.
Yep. So letting your employees know. And a lot of them, they're only going to want to bring another good person on your team. So don't forget about your employee referrals. Can your employees that presently work for you, can they be a source for new hires for you? Again, it's all the different things. Here's the thing. To solve this hiring issue, which we have it in all segments of blue collar, we've got to come out of the box with our thinking. And we're going to talk more and more about that as this webinar goes on and we get towards the end of some of the changes that a business owner has got to go through to make this happen. Employment agencies and temps. Now, right now, some people are using employment agents as their headhunters. I know of at least one company that is a pretty good size, and they actually have an employment agency that locates their people for them. Now, when you look at this, is there a fee involved? Yes, there is. But somebody's got to do this. It's probably got to become part of your budgeting process of what are you going to pay per year out of your budget to locate people. And I know the guy that's doing this, he's a really sharp business owner. He wouldn't be doing it if it didn't work out, and I know it's there. Another type of agency is temp agencies. And this is one that some people are finding is working very well. In other words, what they're doing is they're finding you temps to come to work for you on a temporary basis. This can then turn into a full-time technician for you, not going through the employment agency. Now, when you first hire the temp, are you going to pay an hourly fee that's higher than you would across the counter to the street? On the surface, yes, you are. Now, the benefit of this is these temps are insured by the temp agency. So what this means is you don't have a benefits package and you don't have workers' comp to pay on this. This is one of the solutions that Cheryl has found at IBD. She has actually went through Labor Ready and has hired several workers, and some of them are turning into really good people. And here's the thing I found out. I asked one of them one day, I said, you know, why did you go through a temp agency? And he told him, said, Jerry, says, you just can't find a job out there. It's hard to find a job. Well, here we are with piles of employers needing employees, and we got workers that say they can't find a job. So if we go through the temp agency and it can locate people. Now, depending on the temp agency, there's several rules. One is you've got to find a temp agency that is going to allow your workers to go onto the roof. That's what we do. So that's going to cut out a lot of temp agencies. The next thing is a lot of temp agencies only specialize in certain areas. So you got to be asking them, do you have temporary workers that can be used in a construction type business? So Greg, what's your ideas on these two sources?
I think they're really, really good. You point out a key thing here, and that is this is an ongoing process, just like marketing your business is an ongoing process. And you've got to have a strategy that allows that to happen. I think the beautiful thing about temps is you get a chance to try somebody else without making a commitment. And then when you find, it's like a screening process.
That's it. You know, if you get a temp in and he doesn't work out, it's real easy. Just call the temp agent, tell him to come get him. Tell him to come get him. It is working out for some people. Again, what I'm trying to present here today is all kinds of scenarios to make this work, You also have to realize that if your office is based in your home, this is going to be harder for someone to apply for a job if you don't have a remote office. As a rule, it's hard to get people to apply to a home-based company. It's just there's something there. They ride by and say, you know, is this really a real live company? You could have a multi-million-dollar operation in that backyard. But again, they see it as a home-based business. Okay? So again, it's all kinds of different ways. Now, I want to change you to one that I think is a truly phenomenal way of broadcasting your message out, and that is social media. The first thing you have to understand that of all influencer groups today, the #1 rated influencer group in the world right now is Christianity. That is the #1 influencing force worldwide. #2, as bad as I'll hate to say it, is Islam. Islam is #2. But here's the thing. You have access to the #3 way to communicate with the free world and your community. And your community is what we call the people that you do business with. And this is also the market area of where you're going to draw your people from. Now, I want to add this in also. Recently, one of my clients had a customer apply for the job. A customer applied for the job. He saw what they did, and he was so impressed that he contacted the employer, went to work for him full time, and actually I've trained this guy now. He was in a certification class, so possibly your customers could be that person. Now, we also got to talk about Facebook in another way because of the algorithms that Facebook has now faced companies such as all of you with, which is your business Facebook postings are not going out. This is the way it is. Over the last few years, Facebook has figured out how to make you pay to play. So when you look at the average business Facebook page, it could have hundreds or thousands of likes. Here's the problem. Your boosts are not going out to them unless they have actually went into the like tab and then they have keyed in to see your post first. Otherwise, They're just they're just they're they're just existing there. Now, there's a couple ways you can get around this, and one is by sharing your business post on your personal post. That's one way to do it, not putting your business post onto your personal, but sharing it, by sharing it. But you got to be real careful. This is something that Facebook, I'm understanding, may have a problem with because they are looking to build their pay-to-play package, which is what we call boosting. Boosting is where you pay a fee to have your videos, your posts shown. But here's the thing is it's a very low cost fee. You can actually get your videos out that the people that view them, it's only costing you 2 to 3 cents a click. And the click is when they actually click onto your Facebook video. It's also critical as we go through this to understand how to post these things on Facebook properly to get it out there. Now, other systems that you can use is if you're not using Twitter, Twitter is definitely a way to get your message out. You can also now post up to a 2-minute video on Twitter. A 2-minute video. And I'm going to show you some video examples in a minute that I think are going to be phenomenal for you. Some of you have already used this. Another place to get the word out is Instagram. Instagram is one to get it out there. Another one is going to be LinkedIn. But as a rule, LinkedIn is not going to reach out to blue collar workers. It is more of a reach out to white collar workers, and that's probably not going to fill the bill for what you're talking about. And second, I'm going to talk and show you some examples, and I want you to write down this website right here, which is Fiverr, and yes, there are 2 R's on the end of it, but www.fiverr.com, and I'm going to take you to Fiverr in a second, and I'm going to show you what you can do and some of the things that some of you have already done with Fiverr that is slap but remarkable. So before I go there, Greg, is there anything you want to add in to what we just talked about on social media? Don't. Okay, back here we go back. Had a little, I hope we got all that. We had a little breakdown in communication there for a minute, but here's the thing. Videos say the message. And there's been a couple of videos that we are finding that we've been producing here, and I really need you to take a look at these. When you're looking at the email that this came out on, you're going to find several links to several videos are on there. There's 2 type of videos that we produced at this point. I'm going to show you what they look like here in a minute, but I can't play them on a GoToMeeting because they drag. So the best thing to do is just go there and look at them yourself. Okay, so let me get out of this screen here and alrighty, so I'm taking down, and what you're looking at right now is I am on the Lord's Chimney site. Lord's Chimney, we have 2 different types of videos. One is what's called the whiteboard video. And the whiteboard videos, some of you have used these now, and the whiteboard videos are very, very easy to make up. They're done by different suppliers at Fiverr.com. Now, when you do the videos, it's key that the video is uploaded as a Facebook video and not as a YouTube video. So we record them and we hang them as Facebook videos. And just like you're seeing the video now, the guy is talking on the screen. That video is not costing anything for us to look at it right now. Now, if we decided, if you look, when you see a Facebook video where it says click for more, now if I hit click right here, then what you'll see is you will then get charged for that click. It is a pay to click. Now, this particular video was hung yesterday evening around 6 o'clock. It has not been boosted as yet. Yesterday evening it was hung. Right now we have reached 177 people with this video, and we have 78 views of this video. This video is scheduled to be boosted later today. Lee Rolfe uses Spark to manage his social media. So Karen at Spark is putting together the boost right now for this. Now you've got two links to two different types of videos. And so I've done some of these whiteboards for people. Here's the deal with the video you're seeing right now that's on the screen, and it just shot down on me. This is Spokesman Mark. Spokesman Mark will do this video for you at the cost of $50. For the $50, he's going to customize this video to put your name in the audio. He will put your information on the lower left-hand corner. He's going to put your logo into the right. If you don't like the picture that's in the background, you simply send him another photo, and when you send him the other photo, he is digitally imposed in front of this photo on an electronic backdrop. It's an extremely inexpensive way to get your message out. And so you got Spokesman Mark that does that one. The contact person I use for the whiteboards is a guy in Pakistan, believe it or not, by the name of Raul. Now, to get there, what you've got to do is you go to Fiverr.com. And I'm on the Fiverr website right now. So what you'll do is the people that will do these for you, you can type in like I'm doing right now, and I'm typing in Spokesman Mark. Now, what this is going to do is this will search everybody, and there is the results for Spokesman Mark. So if I want to contract with Spokesman Mark, the only thing I'll do is I will click on him, and at this point I'll now see the different types of personalities and voices that Mark can give you. Now what I was looking for was the working man spokesman. And in this, if you listen to Mark on here, he's a little bit of a good old boy, and that was the image I wanted to portray. Now, Fiverr is vastly deep with different types of things that you can do. All kinds of things can be done. They're set by scripts. They're set by time. Some of you have done some research into Fiverr, but Fiverr has so much marketing strength, and these are all independent business owners. Fiverr is basically a booking agency for these people. So if you want Spokesman Mark to take the script that he has done here and transfer it to your company and make an individualized video for you, he can do that. So I'm going to pull my PowerPoint back up. So Greg, what are you thinking about this? What do you think about these Fiverr videos? Because we've been doing them on CVC Coaching now for about 2 weeks.
You know, when I saw the first ones done, I was really stunned because they were extremely professional, and I thought to myself, where did Jerry get that guy to do that? And the whiteboard ones, I think I almost like better because they really grab you. They really grab you, and they're very inexpensive.
They're very inexpensive. I'm going to take you back to Facebook for a minute. I want to show you how the videos get out, and I'm going to show you the kind of cost that comes in from these, okay? So I'm going back, and I'm going to the CVC coaching page. So we're now on the CVC coaching Facebook page, which is my business page. Greg, are you able to see this okay?
Yeah, I can see it.
So as we go down and you're looking, I'm going down that right here was the last video that I did, and this is the key thing. There's got to be something typed in here, and here's where it could be your link to your hiring page or whatever. Now, I produced this video for my company's use. This video has a cost to me of $50 right now. The next thing I do is I boost it to my demographics. And my demographics show you the following. Right now, we have crossed 7,935 people. This has appeared on their Facebook page, which is good. Now, the bigger one is we've had 4,900 views of this video. The cost of this to me for Facebook promotion was $75. So the key thing here is, would you pay $75 to get your message out to be heard by that many people? Now, with Facebook, what you've also got to do is you've got to understand how boosting is done. And with boosting in your market area, you can decide how big you want your boost to go out, such as if you're hiring, you probably don't want it outside of 25 miles of your office. You can do that. You also want to go probably attract to certain ages of people. You don't need the 12-year-olds to see your video. So you can specify the people ages that you want to see it. You could specify male, female, or both, and I highly suggest both. You can then even further define this and spell in the interest that the person has, such as it could be someone, if I'm sending a video out, I'm going to send it to people that have an interest in chimney sweeping. They're going to have an interest in fireplace. They're going to have an interest in dryer vents. They may have an interest in HVAC, in plumbing, in blue collar work. That's who I'm going to send mine to. So, Fiverr and using this is definitely a way to do it. Okay, so anyway, if you want a whiteboard video, you've got to understand these guys, some of them may not understand chimneys. We've went through a couple whiteboard suppliers. At this point, the guy that does the whiteboard videos for me at this point, that is his name right there. And you will go to the Fiverr search bar, type in that name, Rahul Kajala. I have no idea how to pronounce it. His first name's Rahul, but I know he does communicate very well. Whenever you contract with Rahul, he's going to ask you, do you want a male or a female voice? He could send you audio tapes of the people that can do the voiceover for you. Now, this is the critical thing. The original script cannot be changed. When you submit the script, and I'll be glad to take any of you through this, if you submit the original script, you have to go with that script. The photos can be revised. So if you put some photos in there and they're not coming up right, then at that point, he can change them to your likings. These videos are transferred through the Fiverr discussions board. In other words, you're not going to communicate with them via email. You're going to communicate with them on their dashboard. And that ensures that everything goes through Fiverr, because Fiverr gets a commission off of every one of them job. The guy that did the live speaking, his name is Spokesman Mark. And Mark lives in the U.S. As you go through Fiverr, these various suppliers will have, their background. You can see their reviews. You can see who can do a work for you. But Fiverr has even more potential. Some people have already produced some videos for marketing their business. I'm seeing where with Fiverr, you can actually accumulate a whole library of videos ready to release when you need them based on the demands of the consumer right now. Such an example, what if you had a video that was all about leaky chimneys ready to go that you dropped on your Facebook page when it rained yesterday? What about today and we release one on dryer vent? What about today we release one on this or on that? I think that videos are one of the leading ways to tell the story. So, Greg, from all your background working with Copperfield all these years, what do you think Bob Daniels would do if he had access to these type of marketing materials when you guys were building Copperfield to the strength it built to?
I think Copperfield would be its own country by this time if he had had this.
It would be. So, I want to remind you of this. Recruitment in this point forward in your career is going to be an ongoing process. Recruitment is something that you can never stop doing. From this point forward until this economy crashes, and let's hope that don't happen, but that's the only way we're going to see this turn around. Finding the right people. Your team is who makes you. Your team is where you're going to go. You invest heavily in your team. So in order to do this, in order to build this team, you have got to continue this as an ongoing process, your matter of recruiting. So Greg, what's your feelings on recruiting? What can you add to that?
I think what you said is perfect. It is absolutely as essential to do this and do it consistently and well as it is to do any marketing for your business.
That's it. And so going on, and here's here's the last thing. If you get them, how do you keep them? And I want to give you a little story that a fellow coach of mine put out several weeks ago, and he's a coach in the plumbing industry by the name of Joe. And as Joe was going through, he had a guy come to him and said, I don't know what happened. This guy came to work for us, and an hour later, he disappeared. And as Joe talked to the guy, he asked him, well, what did he do when he first came to work there? He said, well, I had him clean up the truck of a guy that had quit the week before and get it in shape. And the next thing we knew, we looked out there and the guy was just gone. We don't know where he went. And Joe said, well, I got your answer for you. You brought this guy in and you promised him all kinds of good things, didn't you? And he said, yep. But then when he came in, the first thing you told him to do was go clean up someone else's mess. There's your problem. So get this in mind. When you have the people, have your process together to vet them. Have your process there together to train them. And have your process there to keep them. Because this is your number one asset. I'm trying to give you ideas today on how to keep these, how to find people, but you got to also work to keep them. Hey, we're here to help you. That's part of what we do here at CVC. We try to give the best training possible in the industry from every way we can. But you got to work on keeping these people. So Greg, before we sign out of this webinar, is there anything you want to add to this?
No, I just want to emphasize what you said, that the most important asset they have, anybody has, is their employees. And the way they recognize that is by developing their employees.
Yep, that's where it's at. So folks, this is Jerry. This is Greg from CVC Coaching. We want to get this message out to you. I think this is good information. Think about how you can use this. Contact me personally. Let me know if I can help you put your videos together. You need help writing a script? I'll be glad to write one for you. It's not hard to do. I'll be glad to guide you through working with Fiverr to produce this stuff. You don't understand how to boost? Hey, let me know. It's my job. I'll help you get through this. You got to remember, guys, I'm passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about each and every one of you. I'm passionate about watching you grow your businesses and get your dreams. So remember, we're on your side. We're here to help you. Greg, you agree with that?
Absolutely.
So this ends it for today. I hope this has been some value. Please listen to the various YouTube links I posted of some of these videos, and then let's talk further on how this can be put to work for you to reach your dreams. Have a great one. Stay cool out there, folks, and we're here to help you in any way that we can.